People who regularly practice gratitude are 25% less likely to experience depression. Not marginally less likely. Not slightly better off. A full quarter reduction in one of the most debilitating mental health conditions on the planet. And the science behind why this happens is not what most people expect. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly what gratitude does inside your brain, why most people practice it completely wrong, and the one finding from neuroscience that changes everything about how you should approach your mornings. We are going to cover the research, the biology, the psychology, and the real-world results. And somewhere in the middle of all of this, you will hit a piece of information that most self-help content refuses to touch because it makes gratitude sound far more powerful than anyone is comfortable admitting. Let us start with context. Gratitude has existed as a philosophical and spiritual concept for thousands of years. Ancient Stoic philosophers in Greece and Rome built entire frameworks around appreciating what you already have. Buddha's teachings placed gratitude at the center of mental peace. Religious traditions across every major faith in human history emphasize thankfulness as a core practice. But here is the thing. For most of recorded history, gratitude was treated as a moral virtue. Something you practice because it was the right thing to do. Nobody was asking what it actually does to your body at a biological level. That question did not get serious scientific attention until the late 1990s and early 2000s, when positive psychology emerged as a legitimate field of academic study. Researchers like Robert Emmons at the University of California, Davis, and Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania began running controlled experiments on gratitude. What they found fundamentally shifted the conversation from philosophy to neuroscience, and the results were striking enough to get published in peer-reviewed journals that had nothing to do with spirituality or self-help. So what does the science actually say? Let us walk through it. In one of the earliest landmark studies, Robert Emmons and Michael McCullough divided participants into 3 groups. One group wrote weekly about things they were grateful for. One group wrote about daily irritations and complaints. The third group wrote about neutral life events. After 10 weeks, the gratitude group reported higher levels of well-being, more optimism about the upcoming week, fewer physical health complaints, and spent more time exercising compared to the other groups. This was not a small difference. The gratitude group scored 25% higher on measures of well-being. That study, published in 2003, became the foundation for an entire decade of follow-up research. But here is what nobody talks about. The physical health improvements were not expected. Emmons went into the study focused on emotional outcomes. The fact that writing about gratitude made people exercise more and report fewer physical symptoms was a surprise finding that opened an entirely new line of inquiry. That line of inquiry led researchers toward neuroscience. Brain imaging studies using fMRI technology revealed that when people experience genuine gratitude, the brain activates the medial prefrontal cortex, the region associated with learning, decision-making, and moral reasoning. More importantly, gratitude triggers the release of dopamine and serotonin, 2 of the brain's primary feel-good neurotransmitters. And this is where it gets genuinely fascinating. The brain does not significantly distinguish between experiencing something good and vividly recalling something good. When you write down 3 things you are grateful for each morning, your brain processes that reflection with many of the same neural pathways it would use if those positive events were happening right now. You are essentially giving your brain a neurological dose of positive experience simply by directing your attention deliberately. Martin Seligman's research at the University of Pennsylvania took this further with what he called the 3 good things exercise. Participants were asked to write down 3 good things that happened each day and identify why those things happened. After just 1 week, 94% of people who were classified as severely depressed at the start of the study showed significant improvement. After 3 months, 92% were classified as less depressed and significantly happier. These were not people in marginally difficult situations. These were people dealing with severe depression, and a simple daily writing exercise produced results comparable in some cases to short-term therapy. That comparison is not hyperbole. Seligman himself made it in his published research. So why does gratitude work at this level? The deeper mechanism comes down to what neuroscientists call neural pathways and what psychologists call cognitive reframing. The human brain has a well-documented negativity bias. It evolved to prioritize threats over rewards because ancient humans who noticed danger survived longer than those who paused to appreciate the scenery. That bias is still fully operational in your modern brain. It means your default state is to scan for problems, replay negative events, and weight bad experiences more heavily than good ones. Gratitude practice directly counters this. Every time you deliberately identify something positive, you are training your brain to scan for positives as a default. Over weeks and months, this rewires the literal neural architecture of how your brain processes daily experience. A 2015 study published in the journal Neuroimage took this biological evidence a step further. Participants who engaged in regular gratitude practice showed measurable changes in brain structure over time. Specifically, they showed increased gray matter density in areas associated with interpersonal bonding and emotional regulation. This is not metaphorical rewiring. This is structural, physical change in brain tissue that can be seen on a scanner. The practice was literally reshaping the hardware. And this brings up a critical point that most people miss about gratitude. It is cumulative. Short-term gratitude produces short-term results. But sustained gratitude practice over 90 days or more creates permanent shifts in baseline mood, stress response, and social connection. The people who feel the most dramatic benefits are not the people who tried it for a week. They are the people who treated it like exercise. Speaking of exercise, the relationship between gratitude and physical health extends well beyond what Emmons initially found. A 2012 study published in Personality and Individual Differences found that grateful people reported better sleep quality, averaging 30 more minutes of sleep per night compared to less grateful individuals. They also reported less fatigue and lower levels of cellular inflammation. Chronic inflammation is now understood to be a root driver of conditions including heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. A 2019 study from the American Psychological Association found that patients recovering from cardiac events who practiced structured gratitude exercises had significantly lower inflammatory biomarkers at the 3-month follow-up compared to control groups. The immune and cardiovascular benefits of an emotional practice were measurable in blood work. That is the part that makes the medical community uncomfortable, because it challenges the separation between emotional health and physical health that modern medicine still largely relies on. The social dimension of gratitude is equally powerful. Research from the University of Georgia found that expressing gratitude toward a partner was the single strongest predictor of relationship quality, outperforming communication frequency, shared interests, and conflict resolution skills. When people feel genuinely appreciated, they invest more in the relationship. They are more patient, more willing to work through problems, and report higher overall satisfaction. Gratitude functions as a social glue at a neurological level, because it reinforces connection and belonging, which are among the deepest human needs. What does all of this mean practically? It means that gratitude is not a soft skill. It is not a nice journaling habit for people who enjoy self-help. It is a measurable biological intervention with documented effects on brain structure, immune function, cardiovascular health, sleep quality, depression rates, and relationship satisfaction. The research is not coming from wellness blogs. It is coming from peer-reviewed journals in neuroscience, psychology, and medicine. And the barrier to entry is almost nothing. A journal and 5 minutes each morning. That is the entire cost. The research consistently shows that specificity matters more than volume. Writing 3 specific, detailed things you are genuinely thankful for produces stronger results than listing 10 vague ones. Quality of attention beats quantity every time. The takeaway from all of this is straightforward. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Get Up Life for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.